Hello YouTubers, this is Kat at Morbid Kitty Productions, and this is on the MorbidKittyProd channel because it's the artsy crafty stuff. I wanted to show you some of the stick pins I've been working on. There's quite a few. There isn't as much as there would be if I had more time. Here's a couple I have drying right now using seed beads at the end. And these are so addicting, it's not even funny. Here are some that I'm going to be making for Christmas cards. I may or may not use them, I'm not sure. I have so many ideas going through my head right now about what I'm going to do for my Christmas cards. I just got a Texture Boutique machine by Sizzix, so I want to try to find at least one embossing folder to do designs for that. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but there's some ideas. The different type of pins that you can use for stick pins are these littler ones, and I think I found these in the sewing section at the craft store. They're really small, really short. Then there's corsage pins that you can get in the floral section, which are, you know, pretty taller. Now these are 2-inch. I've seen ones that are 3 inches tall, and I want to get some of those, but so far my monthly budget really freaks me out. It burns a hole in my pocket, and by the time I go get everything I want, I still haven't gotten the 3-inch pins. So there's that, and then there's always the ones that are 2-inch but have little diamonds on the top, well, fake diamonds, and those are really pretty. I think I've only done a couple, no, just one like that, and I did it with some beads that I got at a local bead shop, which is very expensive but very exclusive in finding the beads that you want. They're not the cheapo kinds that you find in little kits at stores like Myers and Walmart. Their beads are actually glass beads, are all very decent, and I think even the white bead I got, I found there, so that's very pretty. And I thought that maybe kind of showing how I sort of put them together would be helpful for people, because I find it kind of hard. The reason being, I mean, I made a little design on this one on the top, and you can probably see it. There's a light green, and then I kind of dotted on some dark green. Well, that's fine, but there's ones that I didn't do that to, and there's coloration problems. And this obviously was done with a permanent marker. I did it with my Bic markets, and I've noticed with some of these corsage pins, especially these 2-inch ones, and maybe even the smaller ones as well, coloring them sometimes gets very interesting, because I guess maybe it's the coating on the outside has the inner core is probably plastic, and then it's probably coated on the outside with some sort of other types of plastic, because when you start marking it with the marker, and you start getting a little heavy with the ink, it starts getting really weird and it starts wanting to peel. So my suggestion to you when you go to do this is, okay, let me get a color I can actually use on the small ones. I want to use the longer pins for my Christmas ones. I guess just using Fandango Pink and the Bic markets. What I would do is just take it from the top and go down and try to do as very little strokes as possible. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. I mean, try not to get overzealous with the coloring in, and just give it a slight turn with your finger as you go. I'm missing spots here. There's no quick way about it. And especially in the manufacturing, there's a little bump there. I don't know if you can see that. It gets really annoying and starts to want to peel if you start coloring at it too much. lighter the color, the harder it is to not want to color it in too much. But I would give it very, very light strokes and just slightly turn it as you go. And then I would do the same to go back and make sure it's pretty evenly coated. It looks really streaky. Quickly, gently, and as little strokes as possible. You don't have as much of a problem with the peeling. Okay, I think I fixed it. Like I said, you have to go very, very gently. I think I fixed the streaky problem. It's easier to get away with doing that, like I said, with a darker color. The lighter colors, it's harder to get away with having streaks. It's really obvious and it's hard to get away from. With the small corsage pins, I suggest maybe using seed beads, surprisingly enough. They're tiny and unobtrusive. They're not as big and blingy as, for instance, something like this. That is just honking huge, I tell you what. But if you've got, I say, a really thin, small project that needs to go through the mail, I would still use a bubble wrap mailer, lined mailer. But you can still use pins that are decorated like this, I think, if you use seed beads. Now, I'm a klutz and I'm probably going to end up smearing the ink or dropping all these seed beads just because I'm like that. But what I usually do is just feed a few of them on. I would probably do 3. Yeah, that would be cute. And these beads are really old. I've had these pink beads for quite a while. And what I like to use is glossy accents, and you can use that, the brand that's for 4 beads, a brand of glue that's 4 beads in the beading section, or you can use probably diamond glaze. But what I would do, I was just using this recently, so it's all gumming up. It's coming out too much. I would just kind of put it around the pin itself and slide it down, the beads that is, and put a little, oh daggone, put a little more on the pin part and push them down, and this thing is smooging everywhere. And then I usually hang it upside down, kind of, sorta, and just dot it on. I don't know if you saw that just there. So that way it kind of pulls up at the top. And then what I like to do, because I'm afraid of it falling apart, because I have had them fall apart if I just put it on there, on here on top, I like to stick it in the side. So that way it's kind of hanging upside down so it can dry in a good position, and it all kind of hangs at the end and stays there until it's dried. There's a couple on here. For instance, that one has a space between this one and the top, and I think that's because it somehow slid up while it was drying, and so there's sort of a space, and I don't like that. I'm just really, really, really picky like that. But, you know, whatever. But these are just styrofoam blocks that I took, and I have 2-way adhesive, spray adhesive by Aleene's. That's what it is. And just put fabric, and this one is, don't pay attention to this one. This one I totally mucked up. I was trying adhesive like you wouldn't believe. This one was done with Aleene's adhesive, and it sticks so well that on the back it's still slightly tacky and sticks to whatever I sit it on top of. But I didn't really trim it up or anything. But if you want to hold your stick pins and a nice pretty something or other, get some fabric that you like and spray 2-way adhesive on this and on the block, and stick it down. It's pretty movable while it's wet, and just fold it and keep folding it so it looks nice as you can, and there you go. You've got something to hold all your stick pins. I have got a huge array of beads to play with, but for someone who's just starting, I would go out and probably buy cheapo jewelry at the dollar store, disassemble it, and then use the beads. Because beads are not inexpensive. They really aren't. This was 99 cents, but this was bought I don't even know how long ago. This one right here in particular I've had for a long time. So long I don't even know how much it was. I bought it when I was a kid, first learning how to bead and make jewelry. This one as well. This one is also very old. I don't know how old this is, but I've had it for a long time. These are not very expensive, but this one I got at the bead shop was $1.50. And these are the larger seed beads. These are the smaller ones, and these were $2. So beading is not exactly a very cheap hobby, if you ask me. That's just my opinion. But if you want to get addicted to stick pins, if I were you, I would go out and get as many different types and sizes of corsage pins as you can find. The diamond types, the 3-inch, the 2-inch corsage pins, and the small ones you can use for sewing and stuff. I think these were definitely found in the sewing section. These were found in the floral section. So I would do that if I were you. So thanks for watching.